ये एसी काम कर रहा है? थोड़ा सा वो मुझे लग नहीं रहा है, पहले से एसी ऑन करके रखना चाहिए ना। किसकी क्लास थी? करके रखते, इसको बंद कर दीजिएगा। All right. Very good evening, you all. Very good evening, Yashi, Garvita, Shivam. Good evening, Shikha. Very good evening, you all. I hope you all are fine and welcome back to CUET PG Malviya Academy. I hope you can hear me. Do let me know I'm clearly audible and visible to you. As you know, in the last session, I have shown you important 50 MCQs which are really very significant for your upcoming exam of CUET PG English 2027. Today, what I will do in this session, as you can see on the screen, I have brought important previous year questions which were already asked in your exam from 22 to 26. As you all know this fact that CUET Common University Entrance Test was introduced in the year 2022 and जितने भी क्वेश्चंस आज के सेशन में मैं आपके सामने डिस्कस करूंगी वो सारे क्वेश्चंस ओल्ड इंग्लिश पीरियड, मिडिल इंग्लिश पीरियड एंड एलिजाबेथन पीरियड के कुछ PYQs होंगे. In the last class I have shown you all important 50 MCQs and सारे 50 MCQs में से कुछ क्वेश्चंस ऐसे थे जो आपके एग्जाम में प्रीवियस ईयर एग्जाम्स में प्रीवियसली पूछे गए हैं एंड इट्स हाई पॉसिबिलिटी कि आपके आने वाले एग्जाम में वो पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछा जाएगा. राइट. सो आज की क्लास काफ़ी इम्पॉर्टेंट है उनके लिए जो CUET PG इंग्लिश 2027 की तैयारी कर रहे हैं and this class will also help you those who are beginner, who are confused about their preparation, who don't have any basic idea from where they should start, on which topic they should focus more, and what kind of strategy they should focus on. So are you all ready? Very good evening, you all. Can you hear me properly? I'm clearly audible and visible to you. Do let me know in the comment box. And I hope the last class was very interesting for you all. You don't have any query? If you have any question, any doubt, any query regarding last class, you can ask me. Yes, come on. Do let me know I'm clearly audible and visible to you or not. All good, all easy. Should I start this session with a question? Great, Shivam. If you don't have any question, let's begin this session and let me tell you about this session, that this session will certainly help you in your preparation and for your upcoming exam, because the questions which I am going to show you, the question was already asked in the exam. So these are the previous year questions which I am going to show you, and the first question on your screen is, Gorboduc, the first English tragedy, has been written in which writing technique? Okay, Is it blank verse or prose, rhyming couplet, or none of these? First of all, you should remember, you should know from this question that Gorboduc is considered as the first tragedy of English language. Okay, what is tragedy? Tragedy is the part of drama. Drama, which is an important literary form. Drama primarily means two types, tragedy and comedy. Tragedy implies sad ending, whereas comedy implies happy ending, right? So Gorboduc is considered as the first tragedy of English language. And see, this question was already asked in your examination, so you must remember it. Okay, Yashi? All right, great. So first of all, you should remember that if you will be asked in your upcoming exam, which of the following is the first tragedy of English? So your answer should be Gorboduc. And if, as you can see on the screen, the question is Gorboduc is written in which literary technique, like in which form, whether it is written in blank verse, or it is a part of prose, or it is written in rhyming couplet, or none of these. So here your answer should be blank verse. You must remember two terms. You should not forget these two terms. First is blank verse and second is heroic couplet. Okay, what is blank verse? Any one of you know these two terms? What do you understand by these two terms? What do you understand by the term blank verse, and what do you understand by the term heroic couplet? Do you know about this? If you know, do let me know in the comment box. If you will not answer this question, if you are not sure about these two terms, then I will try my best to make you understand about these two terms, because if you are a genuine student of literature, you must have knowledge about these two terms, and in your CUET PG English exam, NTA asks questions repeatedly from these two terms. Remember, Gorboduc is the first tragedy written in English. Okay. Second thing is that Gorboduc is written in blank verse, and blank verse is well done, Shikha. Blank verse is unrhymed iambic pentameter. When you see unrhymed iambic pentameter, what is iambic pentameter? It is written like it is a rhyming couplet, unstressed, in which unstressed syllable is followed by stressed syllable, right? You must have studied syllable in your UZ, and syllable, which is a basic unit, and you must be clear about this particular term. It's very basic concept. So unstressed syllable is followed by stressed syllable that we call iambic pentameter. So blank verse में क्या होता है? Unrhymed iambic pentameter होता है, और heroic couplet की जब बात होती है उसमें rhymed iambic pentameter होता है. ओके, जब भी rhyme की बात हो तो heroic couplet होगा, unrhymed की बात हो तो वो blank verse होगा. I hope you got it. Is that okay? Did you get it? Should I proceed with next question? So next question for you, which was asked in your exam, the Norman conquest took place in which year? The Norman conquest, as I have discussed in the last class, that Middle English period, which is a long period of British literature, and it is divided into three parts. In Middle English period, Chaucer was there. Chaucer is considered as the representative poet of the age, and that is why, for the convenience of understanding Middle English period, critics divided Middle English period into three parts. The first part is of Anglo-Norman period, and in Anglo-Norman period, Norman conquest occurred. Second part is of age of Chaucer, and third part is of age of revival. And you know, age of revival is also known as after Chaucer, and Anglo-Norman period is known as before Chaucer. So here your correct answer is 1066. 1066 is the year from from 1066 onwards, Middle English period began. Alright, and in the year 1066, Normans defeated England. Normans who were headed by Duke of Normandy, and their language was French. So Anglo-Norman conquest is a very important historical event in the history of England, and that is why this year is very important. See, student, you should be careful here. This particular question is very easy, but at the same time, when you don't have remembered the year, the particular year of the particular event, in exam you will not answer rightly. So be clear. अगर कोई भी क्वेश्चन इजी भी आपके स्क्रीन पर दिखता है तो आपकी जिम्मेदारी होनी चाहिए एग्जाम हॉल में कि आप उस क्वेश्चन को बहुत ध्यान से पढ़े, बहुत अच्छे से समझने की कोशिश करें कि आपसे क्वेश्चन क्या पूछना चाहता है, क्योंकि ये जो चार ऑप्शंस आप देख रहे हो सारे ऑप्शंस एक दूसरे के बहुत क्लोज हैं, तो ये क्वेश्चन बहुत इजी है. अगर आप ध्यान से समझोगे, इजीली टैकल करोगे, इजीली आपको 4 मार्क्स मिलेगा. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपके आने वाले एग्जाम में आपसे बहुत टफ क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाएंगे, बट आपको पैनिक नहीं करना है. आपको बहुत ही पेशेंटली, बहुत क्लियर मैनर में, स्मार्ट मैनर में प्रिपरेशन करनी है और हर एक कॉन्सेप्ट को क्लियर करना है, याद रखना है, रिवाइज करना है. आई होप यू विल नॉट फॉरगेट द ईयर 1066 which is the year of Norman conquest. I hope you got it. The next previous year question for you is, which one among the following is regarded as the first English comedy? अभी आपने गॉर्बो डक के बारे में देखा. गॉर्बो डक is considered as the first tragedy of English literature. Okay? And here you should remember which is the first comedy of English literature. What is your answer here? You have options: Ralph Roister Doister, Grammar Gotton's Needle, Gorboduc, Love's Labour's Lost. And the correct answer is Ralph Roister Doister. Okay? Ralph Roister Doister is considered as the first comedy of English literature, whereas Gorboduc is considered as the first tragedy of English literature. जब ट्रेजेडी की बात होगी जिसमें sorrow, sad ending, separation, okay, इमोशनल ट्रॉमा, ये सारे एलिमेंट्स दिखेंगे, वो ट्रेजेडी होगा. जब फर्स्ट ट्रेजेडी आपसे पूछा जाएगा तो आपका आंसर गॉर्बोडक होना चाहिए, लेकिन अगर आपसे फर्स्ट कॉमेडी पूछा गया एग्जाम में तो आपका आंसर राल्फ रॉयस्टर डॉयस्टर होना चाहिए. इजी? आ रही है बात मेरी समझ में आप सभी को? Are you getting my points? What I am trying to make you understand? Is all clear? Exciting? And I also suggest that I suggest to share the link of this video with your friends who are also preparing for the upcoming exam. All right. That is how more students will get benefited. So next question for you is, arrange the following in correct chronological sequence. ये जितने important events आपको दिख रहे हैं, important work आपको दिख रहे हैं, ठीक है, just you'll have to arrange these events, these particular works in chronological order. As I always say, NTA का favorite question जो होता है वो chronology based होता है. हर एग्जाम में 5 से 7 questions ऐसे आते हैं जो chronology based होते हैं, ठीक है. क्रोनोलॉजी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन को टैकल करने के लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है कि आपको उस पर्टिकुलर इवेंट का, वर्क का या जिस भी कॉन्टेक्स्ट में पूछा जा रहा है आपसे, आपको डेट पता हो, डेट की क्लैरिटी हो आपके दिमाग में, तभी ऐसे क्वेश्चन बन पाएंगे. As you can see on the screen, William Tyndale's New Testament. So now you should know that in which year William Tyndale's New Testament came. Then in which year the Norman conquest occurred, as अभी आपने पढ़ा कि 1066 is the year of Norman conquest. Then death of Geoffrey Chaucer, you know, 1400. Birth of William Shakespeare, is it 1558? All right, or 1564? What is the birth year of William Shakespeare? Do you have remembered? Is it 1558 or 1564? 1564? Yes, student. 1564. All right. So now you'll have to arrange these events in chronological order. So B will come first, like B, C, A, D. B, C, A, D. So first is the correct option here. A is the correct option here. So for tackling chronology based questions, you should know the year of the occurrence of particular event. If it is asking, like if you would be asked in the context of any major works or any major literary movements, you must know the publication year of that particular work or the particular year of that literary movement. All right, and you should know this fact that NTA asks chronology based question every year. I hope this question is clear to you. Next previous year question for you is very easy question. The most famous epic poem of Old English literature is. You have four options: the Seafarer, Beowulf, the Wanderer, and the Dream of the Rood. So which one of the following is the most famous epic poem of Old English period? And the correct option here is Beowulf. Very good, very good. Yashi, Shikha, Shivam, very good. Well done. I'm very happy to see your answer. So yes, Beowulf is the correct option here. You should also know this fact that Beowulf is an anonymous work. And ये भी आपके previous year question में पूछा गया है कि Beowulf, who is the writer of the work, who is the author of the work Beowulf? आपका आंसर होना चाहिए कि anonymous author है. You don't have any idea about the author of the particular work. So Beowulf is written by an anonymous author. Next previous year question है, which period is known as the age of Chaucer? See, the direct question here is from the date, from the time length of the age of Chaucer. You know, British literature has several literary periods, starting from Old English period to postmodern English period. So here, if I have brought this question before you, my purpose here is that, and also it's my suggestion, whenever you are going through any particular literary period or whenever you are studying any particular period, just remember the time length of the particular age. For example, you would be asked that what is the time length of romantic age? What is the time length of postmodern period? What is the time length of neoclassical period? And see, one more thing, like neoclassical period is such a long period. In neoclassical period, there are various periods, and primarily there are three periods, like Restoration period, which is the period of John Dryden, which is also known as Age of Dryden. Then Augustan period, which is also known as Age of Pope, and then you have Age of Johnson, which is the Age of Sensibility. तो जब भी आप किसी literary age को पढ़िए, टाइम लेंथ को याद रखना जरूरी है। एज ऑफ चौसर का जो टाइम लेंथ है वो है 1340 टू 1400 एंड हियर बी इज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन। ये क्वेश्चन बहुत इजी है एंड ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आपके एग्जाम में पूछे जाएंगे आपसे। तो आप किसी भी लिटरेरी पीरियड को जब आप पढ़ेंगे ध्यान रखिएगा जो भी मेजर टेक्स्ट लिखा गया है उस एज में, जो भी मेजर ऑथर्स रहे हैं या कोई भी मेजर लिटरेरी मूवमेंट उस एज में अकर हुआ है, घटित हुआ है, तो आप उसके ईयर को याद रखिएगा, ठीक है। टाइम लेंथ बहुत जरूरी है एंड दैट इज व्हाई हिस्ट्री इज आल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड लिटरेचर, बिकॉज लिटरेचर रिफ्लेक्ट्स सोसाइटल एक्टिविटीज, सोसाइटल थिंग्स। नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन आपके लिए, व्हाट इज जॉफ्रे चॉसर्स मोस्ट फेमस वर्क? एंड ये भी क्वेश्चन रिपीटेडली पूछा गया है एग्जाम में। वेरी इजी क्वेश्चन। इफ यू हैव read Geoffrey Chaucer's writing, you must know that Chaucer had written into 3 different languages, French, Italian and English. And most important work जो चौसर का है, जिसके लिए चौसर रिप्रेजेंटेटिव पोएट कहलाते हैं मिडिल इंग्लिश पीरियड का, वो है द कैंटरबरी टेल्स। द कैंटरबरी टेल्स इज द मोस्ट फेमस वर्क ऑफ जॉफ्रे चौसर and this work is written into English language. All right, I am sure you all have idea about all the other works of Chaucer which are written into Italian language and French language. If you have any idea about those works, do let me know in the comment box. Next previous year question आपके लिए है, see, direct question from the time length. Why brought such type of question? Because these questions were already asked in your examination, because all these questions are previous year questions. It means all these questions were asked in your previous year examinations and it is possibility you can expect that this kind of question can also be asked next year. So age of revival, which is also known as after Chaucer, roughly spans from after 1400, right? So 1400 to 1550. B is the correct option here. I hope you got it. B is the correct option here. Next question आपके लिए है, the anthology, you should know, Tottel's Miscellany is very famous and it was published in which year? Tottel's Miscellany was published in which year? Whether it was published in 1453, 1485, 1557 or 1552. Which one is your answer? Very, very relevant question. It can be asked next year. Tell me. In which year Tottel's Miscellany was published? Very good, Shikha. Italian, French and English. These are the different years. These are the different languages in which Chaucer had written. So Tottel's Miscellany was published in the year 1453. Okay. Next previous year question आपके लिए है. Next question. Sir Thomas More, who is very important writer, he has written Utopia and Utopia से भी directly question पूछा गया है. Who is the writer of the work Utopia? So in that context, for answering that kind of question, you should know Thomas More, who has written the work Utopia, and Utopia was published in which year? You have options 1387, 1450, 1516, 1605. Oh, that's fine, but take once. You should take your connections, Shikha, okay? Good, very good. Thomas More Utopia was published in the year 1516, and this particular question was asked for several times. You must know that Utopia, which is a significant work by Thomas More, and it was published in the year 1516. Next question आपके लिए है, which of this is a correct pairing of revival writer and work? Which of these is a correct pairing of revival writer and their work? One side, the name of the author is written, and another side, you can see the work of the particular writer. Okay. So, Chaucer, you know whether Chaucer had written Utopia. Right now you have studied, you got to know that Thomas More is the author of the work Utopia. So this option is wrong, absolutely wrong. The Fairy Queen, everybody knows it. Edmund Spenser is the author of the great epic poem Fairy Queen. So it is not considered here. Lydgate has not written Hamlet. Instead, Hamlet is the longest tragedy and also one of the great tragedies of William Shakespeare. So, Shakespeare should be here, not Lydgate. And the correct answer here is Thomas More Utopia. And this question was asked already. See, अगर इस तरीके का क्वेश्चन आपके एग्जाम में पूछा जाता है तो आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होनी चाहिए कि आप क्वेश्चन के ऑप्शंस जितने हैं 4 ऑप्शंस जो हैं उसको आप ध्यान से पढ़ें एंड जब आप अच्छे से ऑप्शंस को पढ़ोगे तो आपको क्वेश्चन आई होप नाउ इट्स ओके स्टिल आर यू गेटिंग एक्स्ट्रा साउंड Is it fine? All right. So, what I was saying that if you find this kind of question in your upcoming exam, you should remember that you'll have to read the options very carefully. क्योंकि जब आप ऑप्शंस को ध्यान से पढ़ोगे तो आपको ऑप्शंस थोड़े से फैमिलियर लगेंगे एंड आप इजीली टैकल कर सकते हो ऐसे क्वेश्चन को. ठीक है? सो सी इज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन हियर. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है आपके लिए. द एलिजाबेथन एज इज ऑल्सो नोन एज. जैसे एक आदमी के कई सारे नाम होते हैं वैसे ही एक लिटरेरी पीरियड के कई सारे नेम्स होते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आप सिविल वॉर पढ़ोगे which is also known as Puritan interregnum, which is also known as Puritan age, and it is also known as Commonwealth period. Since John Milton was the representative poet of that age, so the particular period is also known as Age of Milton. You can see this period is same and the same period having different names. So similarly, this is very easy and basic question. Since in the Elizabethan period, William Shakespeare was the representative writer, and William Shakespeare, you know, he is one of the great playwrights of England, and Elizabethan period is considered as the golden period of English literature. The whole period is characterized for the flourishment of drama. And why this is known as the golden period of English literature? Because in the particular age, poetry, where you can find Edmund Spenser's The Fairy Queen and Philip Sidney's poetry, Philip Sidney's sonnet Estophel and Stella. Then you have University wits playwrights and William Shakespeare and Ben Jonson. Then you have prose writer like Francis Bacon. So all these 3 important literary writing like poetry, drama and prose, these 3 literary forms emerged all together in the age of Elizabethan. So this age is known as Elizabethan period, and since Shakespeare was the representative playwright, writer, so this age is also known as age of Shakespeare. So B is the correct option here. Shakespeare, who has written history plays, tragedies and comedies, you must read Shakespeare very carefully क्योंकि एग्जाम में एक क्वेश्चन शेक्सपियर से तो रहेगा ही रहेगा, ठीक है? I hope you got it and you will read Shakespeare very carefully. Next question आपके लिए है, who is known as the morning star of Reformation in England? And you have option Geoffrey Chaucer, John Wycliffe, Thomas More and Philip Sidney. And the correct answer is very good, Shikha, very good. Correct answer is John Wycliffe here. Who is known as the morning star of Renaissance? Tell me, who is known as the morning star of Renaissance? Who is known as the morning star of Renaissance? Very good, very good. You should remember it is Chaucer. Okay? Is it okay? All right. Okay, that's really great. That's really great. Next question आपके लिए है, which Elizabethan poet wrote the Defense of Poesy? You have options Spencer, Sidney, Shakespeare and Lely. Student, you should be careful here that the direct work is being asked in your examination and they ask sometimes direct question, and see here you will have to answer the name of the author who has written the work The Defense of Poesy. Okay, I hope I am clearly audible and visible to you. That's great. Okay, all right, beta, all right. You are not getting any extra noise, right? All okay, all good? That's great. So what I am trying to make you understand here that you should remember major work along with the name of the author. For example, The Defense of Poesy is written by whom? And the correct answer here is Philip Sidney. Since Philip Sidney was the most important poet in Elizabethan period along with Edmund Spenser, and this particular work, The Defense of Poesy, is also considered as an important critical work because Sidney was a critic. Okay, he was an important critic. I hope it's clear now. Is that okay? So B is the correct option here. Along with The Defense of Poesy, you should remember other important works of Philip Sidney. He is also very famous for writing sonnets. You should remember the sonnets of Sidney. Next important question है आपके लिए. The sonnet, which is an important literary form and it is an important type of poetry which primarily contains 14 lines. the sonnet form was introduced into England by whom? And this question was asked for several times in your exam. You should remember that sonnet is a type of poetry and it contains primarily 14 lines written in iambic pentameter. That means unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable. What is iambic pentameter? It is a rhyming couplet in which unstressed syllable is followed by a stressed syllable, and sonnet is primarily of two types. First is Petrarchan sonnet and second is Shakespearean sonnet. Petrarchan sonnet is also known as Italian sonnet and Shakespearean sonnet is also known as English sonnet. And I am sure that you all have idea about the rhyme schemes of these sonnets. If you have idea, if you know the rhyme scheme of Petrarchan sonnet and Shakespearean sonnet, see, I have very limited time now and I also taught this topic in the earlier classes. If you are a beginner, if you don't know about sonnet, if you don't have any idea about this topic, you can watch my previous lectures which have been uploaded on YouTube already, which are already there on YouTube. And if you also are very confused about your preparation, about your upcoming exam, you can consider our Umang 1.0 and Umang Pro batch, which like classes are already going on in that particular in those batches. So you can consider that if you are a beginner. So here I mean to say you that you should remember the sonnet, which is an important type of poetry, an important literary form. It was introduced into England by whom? Wit and Surrey. Okay, so the correct option is C. Okay, Thomas Wit and Earl of Surrey, who is also known as Henry Howard. Is that okay? Clear? Did you get it? Is that okay? Do you want to ask any question? Did you get my point? Great, easy. समझ में तो आ रहा है ना? Boring तो नहीं लग रहा है ना? All good? Alright, next question for you is, who defended poetry against Stephen Guison's The School of Abuse? And see, this question is very, very important. This question was also asked in UGC NET exam, and in your PG entrances, this question was asked for several times. And three kinds of questions can be asked from this fact. First is the work The School of Abuse by whom? Your answer should be Stephen Guison. And who defended poetry against Stephen Guison's work The School of Abuse? So your answer should be Philip Sidney. Second question can be framed from here that which work Philip Sidney has written which defended poetry against Stephen Guison's work The School of Abuse. So in that context your answer should be The Defense of Poesy, which is also known as an apology for poetry. ठीक है, याद रखिएगा स्टीफन गुइज़ॉन का वर्क है द स्कूल ऑफ अब्यूज. And for defending poetry against Stephen Guison's, Philip Sidney has written a critical work entitled as The Defense of Poesy. Okay, great. So C is the correct answer here. Next question आपके लिए है The Fairy Queen. See, what I was saying you, sometimes NTA asks direct question from major work. If you have remembered your syllabus, the first unit of your syllabus is History of British Literature, that is English literature and Indian literature. And in that particular unit, you have to focus carefully on major authors, major texts and important literary movements. So NTA has clearly mentioned that you will have to study major text, major authors, and important literary movements. Okay, so whenever you are going through any specific literary period of British literature, you must know the major authors of the particular age. You should also know the time length of that particular period. You should also be familiar with the socio-political background of the age, because सोसाइटी में जो भी होता है लिटरेचर उसको पोर्ट्रे करता है, and that is why it is said that literature is the reflection of societal things. Okay, reflection of society, you can say mirror of society. You must have heard this phrase that literature is the mirror of society. So हिस्ट्री क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है, फिलोसफी क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है, पॉलिटिकल इवेंट्स क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि ये सारी चीजें लिटरेचर को अफेक्ट करते हैं एंड उस टाइम पे राइटिंग को शेप करते हैं. लिटरेरी राइटर्स जो होते हैं उनके सब्जेक्ट मैटर, उनकी मेंटालिटी, उनके थॉट प्रोसेस, हर एक चीज प्रभावित होता है. सो व्हेनेवर यू आर गोइंग थ्रू एनी स्पेसिफिक लिटरेरी एज, यू मस्ट नो द पॉलिटिकल बैकग्राउंड ऑफ द एज, you must know the historical scenario of the particular age. For example, if you are studying Elizabethan period, you should know that how was Queen Elizabeth. You must know about her reign. You must be familiar with important historical events of that time, and that is how you will understand better about literary writings, literary authors, and literary movements. So if you have not read any specific literary age, you can join our batch where I have taught each and every literary period in detailed manner, and certainly you will be benefited from that particular course. So here the direct question, and again it is very easy question, the Fairy Queen, which is considered as an important epic poem of Elizabethan age, is written by Edmund Spenser, and D is the correct option here. Apart from this, you should also know about other writers like Thomas Lawes. Do you know who was Thomas Lawes? Do you know who was Thomas Lawes? You should also know about William Tyndale and Sydney, right? ऐसे questions जब आप solve करोगे तो आपको क्लैरिटी आपकी जो होगी वो बढ़ेगी और आपको कॉन्सेप्ट ज्यादा अच्छे से समझ में आएंगे. वेरी गुड शिखा. सो टॉमस लॉज वाज वन ऑफ यूनिवर्सिटी विट्स. what is university wits? So it is a group of authors basically graduated and post-graduated either from the University of Oxford or from the University of Cambridge, right? Next question आपके लिए है, John Bunyan's The Pilgrim's Progress is an example of whether it is a symbolic text, allegorical work, modern novel, or a postmodern piece of writing. So you should know Pilgrim's Progress, which is very important work by John Bunyan. एंड ये भी क्वेश्चन आपके एग्जाम में कई बार पूछा गया है. जॉन बनियान ने पिलग्रिम प्रोग्रेस लिखा है एलिगोरिकल फॉर्म में. सो इट इज एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ एलिगोरिकल फॉर्म. एलिगोरी जो है ये एक इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर्म होता है लिटरेरी राइटिंग का, and this particular term is mentioned in the unit of literary terms. जब भी आप किसी लिटरेरी राइटिंग को पढ़ते हैं एंड उसके कई सारे मीनिंग्स होते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल एलिगरी, इट इज एन इम्पॉर्टेंट form of literary writing which had several meanings in the context of polity, in the context of religion, in the context of society. Okay, as I can give you an important example of political allegory, which is Animal Farm. Animal Farm is considered as an important allegory of English literature, right? So B is the correct option here. Next important question for you, which of the following play was written in blank verse? The Castle of Perseverance, Grammar Gutton's Needle, Ralph Roister Doister or Gorboduc? जो बच्चे, जो स्टूडेंट्स केयरफुली अटेंटिवली सेशन अटेंड कर रहे होंगे, उन्हें पता होगा कि स्टार्टिंग में मैंने बताया है कि जो गॉडबुडक है, it is the first tragedy of English literature. Gorboduc is considered as first tragedy of English literature, whereas Ralph Roister Doister is considered as first comedy of English literature, and Gorboduc is written in blank verse. Okay, so D is the correct option here. Is that okay? Will you remember this? अगर ये क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में आया तो बन जाएगा. Is that okay? Clear? All right. So student, for you the next question is the War of the Roses, very important historical event of England, is used to describe which of the following? So basically you should know important historical event which had impacted literature of the time, which had shaped literary writings, right? So the War of the Roses, it is a war between whether England or Ireland. It is a civil war in France during the late Middle Ages. No, it was not the war between England and Ireland. It was the wars between the kingdoms of England and France. Yes, it was a civil wars in England between the Lancastrian and Yorkshire dynasty. It is also true. D. It was a civil war in England. War of the Roses was a civil war. Yes or no? See, many students might get confused between option D and option C, because in War of the Roses, two dynasties are there, okay? Lancastrian dynasty and Yorkshire dynasty, okay? Red rose and white rose. But you should be very clear here that, see, this particular war took place between England and France. Is that okay? So the question, so the option here, C is also incorrect, because the War of the Roses was a civil war which occurred between Lancastrian dynasty and Yorkshire dynasty. So the correct option here is D, not C. Is that clear? Next question आपके लिए है, which of the following is the most appropriate statement about heroic couplet? मतलब ये कि heroic couplet क्या है? What do you understand by the term heroic couplet? Whether it is a meter that celebrates heroism, whether it is a rhyming pair of verse lines in iambic pentameter, whether it is a meter used in tragedy, or it is a 4-line stanza with end rhyme. How it would be, D. Shikha? heroic couplet क्या होता है? It is a rhyming pair of words written in iambic pentameter. और जब भी unrhymed आपको दिखेगा, unrhymed lines दिखेंगे, unrhymed iambic pentameter दिखेंगे, then there you should remember blank words. ठीक है? Great. Next question आपके लिए है match list 1 with list 2. On one side you have genre and second side में definition को दिखाया गया है. For example, you can see sonnet, lyric, epic, elegy. These are genres of poetry. These are different genres of poetry. So what do you understand by the term sonnet? What do you understand by the term lyric? What do you understand by the term epic and elegy? Right? Let's match it. Sonnet क्या होता है? You must know, this is very basic question. Sonnet contains 14 lines. ठीक है? It contains 14 lines. So A का 4. All right? Lyric क्या होता है? So it is a poem. It is a long verse narrative on a series subject matter. It is a formal and sustained lament in verse, or it is a poem uttered by a single speaker who expresses his thoughts or emotion. So lyric is a poem uttered by a single speaker who expresses his thoughts and emotion. Elegy क्या होता है? Elegy sadness को show करता है, lamentation को show करता है, separation को show करता है. So elegy is a formal and sustained lament in verse. And epic क्या होता है? Like Mahabharata, like the Paradise Lost, like Fairy Queen. So epic, it is a long verse narrative on a serious subject. So A का 4 होगा. That's okay. You can see. आप eliminate करो option A and option D को. B और C में से आपको कोई एक option choose करना है. B का क्या होगा? B का 3 होगा. So B option is correct here. C का पहला and D का दूसरा. That is how you should tackle any question in your exam. Elimination method बहुत ही important method है जिसमें आप सही जो option होगा उसके बहुत close होंगे. तो अगर आप बहुत clear नहीं है किसी भी ऑप्शन को लेकर तो एलिमिनेट करने की कोशिश कीजिए. इससे क्या होगा कि आप जल्दी से जो क्लोज ऑप्शन है आपका सही से आंसर कर सकते हो. इज दैट क्लियर? ये समझ में आ गया आप सभी को? इज दैट ओके और नॉट? So B is the correct option here. Easy? Should I proceed with next question? Are you all ready? समझ आ रहा है ना? एग्जाम में क्वेश्चंस आएंगे तो मिस नहीं होने चाहिए एंड गलती भी नहीं होनी चाहिए because you should know that you have, like, if you answer any wrong question, if you are attempting any wrong option, your 1 mark will be deducted. There is negative marking in your exam. So कोई भी ऑप्शन जब आप टिक करते हो तो उसको बहुत ही ध्यान से दिमाग से टिक करना है. ठीक है? ग्रेट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है आपके लिए बेटा. मैच लिस्ट 1 विथ लिस्ट 2. एज one side you can see the sonneteer and other side rhyme scheme. And this is very easy question क्योंकि आपको पेट्रार्कन सोनेट का राइम स्कीम क्या होता है मैंने पहले बताया. सोनेट which is a type of poetry. It contains 14 lines. It primarily is divided into 2 parts. Petrarchan sonnets, which is also known as Italian sonnet, and Shakespearean sonnet, which is also known as English sonnet. ठीक है? Petrarchan sonnet का rhyme scheme क्या होता है? A B B A. ठीक है? अब्बा अब्बा C D C C D C. So A का क्या होगा? 4 होगा. 𝐵𝐵𝐴. See, Petrarchan sonnet and Shakespearean sonnet both are different in the context of structure as well. Petrarchan sonnet का जो structure होता है वो octave and sestet का होता है, 14 line octave. So here you can see ABBA, ABBA, 8 lines, and CDC, CDC. It can be E as sometimes as well, CDE or CDE or CDC, CDC, right? So octave sestet, this is the structure of Petrarchan sonnet. But when you talk about English sonnet, which is also known as Shakespearean sonnet, so the structure of Shakespearean sonnet is of 3 quatrains and a couplet. So the rhyme scheme of Shakespearean sonnet is AB, AB, CD, CD, EF, EF, G, G. That means 3 quatrains. Quatrains means 4 lines and couplet means 1 line, right? So D ka first. Right. So you can see like this. Miltonic rhyme scheme kya hoga? Spenserian kya hoga? I think option is wrong. Let me check first of all. A का fourth. Okay. Okay. So option को यहाँ पे आप correct करना है. यहाँ पे A का 4 होगा. ठीक है? Then D का first होगा. Right? A B A B B C B C C D C D E E. This is a Miltonic or Spencer. Just check Milton and Spencerian stanza. ठीक है? I hope you will answer this question in this way because this is very easy question. So let me show you next question. Who among the following known as the university wits? And see, you'll have to answer from here. You must know that university wits, very important phrase, which is a group of authors who were graduated or post-graduated either from the University of Oxford or from the University of Cambridge. And the particular this group, which we call university wits, contains writers like Christopher Marlowe, who is an important tragedian, Robert Greene, who had attacked on the writing of Shakespeare. Then you have George Peele. Then you have Thomas Lodge, John Lilly, Thomas Kyd, the Spanish tragedy, right? These are some important writers. So John Lilly, yes, and Thomas Nash. A and C is the correct option here. B should be the correct option here. Because Ben Jonson was a post-Shakespearean dramatist. And the last question for today is, which of the following plays was not written by Christopher Marlowe? And student, you also should be very sure about the characteristics of important writers, you can say important group of university wit. Oh, very good evening, Riya. Very good evening. Welcome to the class, beta. How are you? See, meet Riya. She got into JNU this year. How are you, bacha? And how is everything? I'm absolutely fine, beta. Thank you. Riya is one of toppers of CUET PG 2026 exam and she got into JNU. Her rank was 4. So, alright, I hope you are doing well there. So, the last question for today's session is, God bless you, bacha. God bless you. No, it happened. You got your dream university. Being a bright student, and also it's all because of your hard work, your dedication. Great. So Christopher Marlowe का कौन सा work नहीं है? Because you should also focus here that which of the following plays was not written by Christopher Marlowe. And you have options: Tamburlaine, Dr. Faustus, Henry II, and the Jew of Malta. And the correct option is Henry II, because you know all these works are written by Dr. Faustus, Chamberlain, Dr. Faustus, okay, and the Jew of Malta. All these three works are famous works written by Christopher Marlowe, who is primarily considered as a pure tragedian. Okay, among the writers of the group of university wits, you should remember Thomas Kit's The Spanish Tragedy and Christopher Marlowe. Both of these writers are considered as pure tragedian. All right, I hope you enjoyed this session. In this session, I have shown you important 25 previous year questions which were already asked in your previous year exams, and you can also expect in your upcoming exam. I hope you enjoyed the session. If you have any question, do let me know in the comment box. If you have any query, any doubt, any confusion regarding the session, and I'll meet you very soon in the next session with important MCQs and with important topic. And I repeat, if you are a beginner, if you are confused about your preparation, if you don't have any idea about your syllabus, you can consider our Umang 1.0 and Umang Pro batch. Classes are already going on. You can join the batch. Previous lectures are already uploaded on app, okay? And many strategy video I have made earlier are already there on YouTube on the channel of CUET PG Malviya Academy. You can visit those videos, you can watch those videos, and certainly those videos will help you in your preparation. All right? Okay, so happy learning. Stay connected with CUET PG Malviya Academy, and if you will have any question, any query, any doubt, you can ask me directly. Okay, so bye-bye, take care. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shikha, Shivam, Riya, and other students. Thank you.